Hello there. Hi. This is a bit of a different video. Hopefully, you can hear me just fine. But yeah, I wanted to kind of take this time to do a little time capsule, as it were, of my current setup and how everything looks. Because I don't see a lot of people do that on the internet. I don't see a lot of people show off how they have their setups done. So that's just what I'm going to do here today. I know it's a bit of a different one, but we're going to show you here in a second. So this is kind of like what my shelving setup. At one point, this was my background. You can kind of see all of these pictures and stuff. So you kind of see I have a few of them here. Got some nice, minimal border frames there going on. A few little collectibles on this shelf here if you want to take a look at all that stuff. And then kind of these shelves, which was always hard to see on stream, especially some of these other pops and various collectibles. I still have physical media. I kind of like to do that as well, and I usually get them with a digital code so I can like have all of them together online. It kind of helps. This is like part of the video game collection. It's kind of all of them, but like not including the digital ones, obviously. And then here is another shelf of more collectibles. And then down here below this TV that I just need to put away is a couple more collectibles, a couple of books that go along with these books here. This is kind of my little library. I bought actually this Zelda Ocarina of Time manga. I bought that from the building where San Diego Comic-Con is. So that's where I got that from. And then some just various other stuff. And this is my Scorpion figure that I'm very happy with. Going over to the desk setup here, kind of, you kind of get as much space here, but that's kind of the setup we have here. There's the window. We have, this is the stuff that you never get to see on stream. It's my little Simpsons Treehouse of Horror couch gag picture that fell one time on stream. It was at the end, so it wasn't too bad. There's the second thing I've ever pre-ordered, which was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2. It came with that collector's edition. And when I stream, this is normally what I got going on. Been kind of getting some things settled there. But this is kind of the setup that I got going on. Over here I have a Lenovo, I believe, Tab M10 Plus tablet that I use for kind of my stream deck, and then water for hydration, monitor 1, which is usually where the games are all going on, and then usually my OBS screen. Sometimes there'll be some video going on there. My mic setup, I it's a bit weird. I think so anyway, but that's the way I have it done best, since there's this little lip here that you can kind of see. It's not very thick, so it was hard to get the clamp on, so I tried it this way, and that's kind of how I've been doing it ever since. And there's my little stool that I have underneath. And yeah, I have a blanket on me while I stream. It's kind of nice. All right, let's go on to the computer, and I'll show you all of the stuff that I do in OBS and the different programs and stuff that I use. Okay, on the microphone now and on the computer here, this is kind of what we got going on. If you're curious of what my PC specs are, I forget them always, so this is kind of what we got going on. This is my computer here. I have a solid state drive and a normal, HDD hard drive, mechanical hard drive. I think the hard drive's 2 terabytes, and then the solid state's, I think, like a 500 gigabyte boot drive, so there's not too much on there. You can kind of see here, and you'll see it sometimes in videos when I'm using my emulators. But I used a site to get a inexpensive key for Microsoft Windows when I built the computer to get the OS. It's supposed to give you full access. The key was already used, and I did not feel like going and buying the full license or trying to do another key. So I just kind of ate that, and we have the um, not full license. I think this is the free version of Microsoft OS. I haven't had any issue with anything so far, so that's just kind of what we've been doing here. And you can kind of see my bottom row here. Normally, I don't have all of this open, but what I use for editing for video projects here, this is my next clip comp that's going to go up in the beginning of October. I just put all of our Tomb Raider clips from this past stream, where it's literally caught up to yesterday. One of the reasons why I'm able to keep up with that so quickly is with my Stream Deck application. Kind of some of the buttons that I use here. This is kind of what it looks like, and the buttons that I use. These two are for the Call of Duty screen that I'll show here in a little bit. But this button is my favorite button. If you see me hit anything, it's usually this button. It'll automatically create a 30-second clip, including the delay. I figured that was an important thing because when I was cutting my doing my Black Ops clips, I kept realizing that it cut off a few seconds early. So I kind of did a quick test to figure out what the delay was. So my delay is 3,000 milliseconds, and then it does the function to create a clip. So that's these are what I usually use for my various Stream Deck clips, which I have come very accustomed to, which I found out last stream when my tablet died midstream. So I've come very accustomed to using these. And I do have to do some editing on these because I don't need this button. This button doesn't work anymore. I used it one time, so I don't need it anymore. But yeah, so these are the bottom rows that I use. Let me open a new tab here so I can show you how I do my thumbnails. So I use Photopea. I jumped off the Adobe license quite a while ago. I tried, I don't remember what this one was. I think it's like Get Map or something like that. But I gave that a shot. Didn't really like it. So I used Photopea. It's photopea.com. And it does everything that I want it to do. Just kind of opening up our Tomb Raider template here. It kind of has everything that you want from a Photoshop-like or Photoshop Lite application. It's web-based as far as I know, so there's that. So yeah, that's kind of what I use for my editing tools there. The emulators I use whenever I play PlayStation 2 games. So first I have DS4 Windows. This basically turns my PS4 controller into a Xbox 360 controller because that's what Windows machines are able to read the best. So that's what I use there. And then I have a new version of PC SX2. I have the nightly build, so every time I open this, I get a new update available. And I've had better success with this than I did previously when I used this version of PCSX2. If you download the latest release, it's going to be this 1.6, and you see here they're at 1.745, whichever. So this is kind of what I use for PS2 games. When I did the Star Wars week, we used Project 64 to play Shadows of the Empire. Previously, I used it for when I made a video on Major League Baseball featuring Ken Griffey Jr. And obviously, you can kind of see here I have some old school WWE wrestling games and WCW, which we'll be playing soon. Maybe, hopefully, probably. We'll be playing it soon. So that's kind of all of the like emulators and stuff that I use. I didn't mention this when I was going over the desk because it's like kind of hidden back here. But I use an Elgato HD60X specifically so I can use this Wavelength software. Previously, I had an Elgato HD60, and with that, I wasn't able to use this properly where I can hear what's coming out of here. I can have this monitor mix going. So if I turn on my Xbox, um, you probably heard that. But with the Xbox on, probably get some feedback here. The audio will come out of this one, as you can see it there. And so this is the mix that goes to OBS, and then this goes into my headphones. This goes into the stream. So that's kind of what I use for capturing and using the mic with it. I didn't mention this, but I have an Elgato Wave 3 microphone. That's what I use. I'm pretty into the Elgato ecosystem, as it were. And then jumping over into what I have in OBS and what my OBS screen looks like. This is, as you can see, all this. This is kind of what it looks like. Kind of paying attention to this section down here. So these are all the scenes that I have for various games. This one is usually my like whatever console game that I'm playing. And if I have different things for different games, I'll have them labeled here so I can kind of go back to them and quickly get to them when I need to. As far as like my stuff here, I have my activity feed. Clearly it is popping off. And my stream chat, which is always popping off. The part of this that I use the most is the stream information. So this is where I can kind of set and edit and update my stream information. And I think this is all under docs. So you can have stats, chat, stream information, Twitch stats, Twitch activity feed, all this stuff. So you can kind of see what settings I have here if you want to use them. I did that by connecting my Twitch, and the rest of it worked. I'm doing hand gestures and realizing I don't have my camera on, but it's fine. You don't want to see my face any more than you already have. Yeah, I that's kind of what I got going on here with the stream. I decided to make this today because Amazon Prime Day just happened and I bought a new 27-inch monitor. So instead of the 24-inch LG, it's basically the same model, except it's 27 inches, so it's a little bit bigger, and that's going to be my main gameplay screen. While I have this actually is going to become my secondary monitor where all of my other stuff is going. And if I had the space or the ability to do a third monitor, I would still use this Vizio TV, but unfortunately I don't, so I won't. Yeah, that's a bit all that I have on the brain here right now that I can think of that I wanted to cover. So if you have any questions about what I do or why I do it, or if you have better ideas for what I should do, if you're just going to tell me to upgrade my computer, I know. But any other things that I should do differently, if you have tips for better OBS stuff, I'm up for that. And if you are curious on how I have certain OBS settings, I just kind of clicked around and I could show those too, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of what I do for this little moment in time. I wanted to kind of do a little time capsule because I think it's fun to go back and look and see how all this is going to change in literally days. Actually, I think that monitor is supposed to come tomorrow. So, but I'd like to kind of do this on a yearly basis to go over and see how things have changed, see how the room has changed. Um, yeah, I just thought this would be a cool thing to show off and showcase for anybody who was curious or anybody who um, wanted to get started or someone who was doing things a certain way and maybe they could do something better. I don't think my way is better, but my way is certainly different. So if this might work for you, then go for it. But yeah, I'm going to cut this off before I keep rambling too far and make this video any longer than it needs to be. So I appreciate you for watching this, and I will see you some Thursday on Twitch or some Friday on YouTube. I appreciate you for watching this, and goodbye.